Weddings. You know, they're changing drastically. You know, before a wedding gown would at least stand the test of time for a couple years, right? Not now. I mean, we go to bridal market, the couture bridal market in New York twice a year. We go in April and then again in October. And so we have designers from Milan and Paris and all over the world come in to show their gowns, and they put them on runway and we go, we'll take this, we'll take that. What we are finding now that the trends are changing before we get to October market if we're in April. So that's how quick brides are deciding and changing their view on a gown. So what do you think is still the #1 part of a wedding dress that still holds the same? What do you think? Any idea? Yeah, sweetheart neckline. No matter what style dress you're wearing, everybody wants a sweetheart. It's still the most popular neckline. Mermaids are popular, but we're watching those fade a little bit. Now remember, this is in the South. It's on the East Coast, so what I'm explaining to you are trends we're seeing coming over from Europe. They do not necessarily mean this is what you need to wear or this is what you should wear. I'm just telling you what we are seeing coming down the pike. And that is sweetheart neckline, natural waist, coverage, sleeves, organza tops with lace appliques around the neck. So it looks like it's strapless, but it's not. Coverage is huge. Buttons on the gowns are back. Everybody wants buttons on their dresses, and sashes. So something to tie at the waist, and big bows on the back, like over-exaggerated bows. Column dresses, which mean they pretty much go straight down. There's not a lot of movement in it. If it is a full dress, it's not a huge ball gown that's full, a lot of movement, but not necessarily puffed out. There goes my Gone with the Wind look, which, you know, I'm from the South, I like it. And we're also finding bling is fading away. Girls all of a sudden are coming in for these very plain dresses. Lace is still leading the pack with that. But girls are wanting less ornamentation on their gowns, sashes, buttons, and bows. So that's what we're seeing. Fuller skirts, no petticoat, or very column dresses. Does that seem to be what y'all are thinking? How many brides do we have in the audience? Yay, congratulations. How many grooms do we have? 2 brave men, aren't they? Just 2, right? I'm not seeing one there? All right, so I'm gonna open the floor for just a little bit in between all this as I keep running my mouth. Are there any questions? Hair, makeup, tablescapes, invitations? Look, she didn't want to stand up, it's all right. Okay. Oh, this is good. A dress shape for busty brides. Now, okay. When it comes to bust lines, it is absolutely one of the most important fits you can get. You want to make sure when you're looking in that mirror to turn sideways, you want your bust cups to come out. White dresses tend to flatten you, probably not you, but most brides. But yesterday we had a bride that was a double F. Who knew, right? She had the smallest waist, but then again, nothing grows in the shade. So there's that, right? And the whole time, she kept doing this. So no matter what we put her on. But you know what? The biggest and the best bit of information is usually find a dress manufacturer when you're looking. How many overly busty brides do we have? Okay, so I'm talking to a few. So when you're trying them on, make sure that they set up high under your arm here, which means you have to have a higher back. The higher the back in a gown, the more support you're going to get. And when it sets up high under your arm and comes down that way, when it's here, when you raise your arm, should the gown be strapless, you won't have a little bit of hangover, if you know what I mean. So you want to keep that. Plus, the higher the back and under the arm, the better the fit on the trunk. I mean, it will narrow you down with that. But to this, and for all that are a little busty, look at a manufacturer that opens the bust cup. Because traditionally when they do that in a designer, when they open the cup, the neckline comes up a ½ inch. So you get a little more coverage, and also you get to set down in your dress. So your waist will still fit the same. You'll still need alterations, but at least it's better than buying a dress 2 sizes too big to accommodate your bust and whittling it down. This way your bust will set into it, and then they can take it into where it fits. Does that help a little? Yeah. Where you it doesn't also hurt if you are wanting a long train on your gown, if that should be, to put straps sewn on your gown, tuck them inside the dress, go down the aisle with it strapless if that's the look you're looking for, and then when you're dancing or when you are at the reception and your gown is bustled, the weight of the dress, you're adding more weight to it to pull down, to have those straps so you can pull out later at a later, just to help you support the gown a little later on, especially if you are a great dancer. Actually, it doesn't matter. I've never seen a great dancer in the front, but that's another story. But anyway, any other questions? So the question is, we call those encore brides, or she's saying I'm a mature bride, she's been married, didn't get the big white dress. This gives you an opportunity, as it should for all brides, to wear the dress you love. So I always think, depending upon, and this is something to that point, people tell me all the time, the dress sets the tone for the wedding. That's not the case. Do you know what sets the pace for your wedding? The venue. Where are you getting married? Because you want to buy a dress that goes to that venue. If you're marrying in a cathedral, what do you expect? Long trains, the veils, all of that. If you're marrying on the beach, what do you expect? Soft, flowy, organza, chiffons, tulle. If you're marrying in the mountains, maybe lace, the barns, or the fields. So think about where you're getting married, and does it look right in that venue? Because when they open those doors, or when they start playing the Volant Trumpeter, my favorite, think about them seeing you coming down the aisle. Does that dress look like it belongs where you are? So just kind of keep that in mind. So my advice to that, color is very big right now for first, second time, third time marriage. I would find a dress that just suits your figure. You seem to be relatively tall, so I don't think you're gonna have a problem with that. Something maybe off the shoulder coverage is big right now, so that's a great opportunity to bring that in as well. Mother of the bride, what color for the bride? Mother of the bride. Okay, so this is very important, mother of bride, mother of green. Traditionally, the mother of the bride picks her dress, and then the mother of the groom picks hers. So you get first dibs on it. Yeah, so it's up to you to decide, are you gonna wear long or short? Because that kind of dictates to that. I tell women to buy a dress the color that people see on you and say, you look incredible. Think back, were you in turquoise? Were you in hunter green? Depending upon the season too, but be mindful of taupes and beiges, because they wash you out, they pull you out. So if you're gonna wear that, and that's true for your wedding party, intensify the flowers and the lipstick and the makeup. But blues, I'd stay away from reds, because they tend to make us redder if you get nervous or if you start crying when your beautiful daughter goes down the aisle. So find a color that looks good with you, because you're only gonna be photographed with the wedding party that one shot. The rest of the time you're on your own explaining how wonderful your daughter was through this whole process, and she's never given you a day of trouble her entire 22 years. Yeah, so she's, question was, how do I match my veil to a dress that is of a color? And our wedding gowns in color still trending. They're very trending, champagne, especially if there's lace or if there's beading. A lot of girls are opting for a tonal underneath so you can see the definition of the lace. When it's white on white, you don't get that definition in it. So that is very popular now, and has been, and will probably continue. It also gives a vintage feel to the garment, to the gown. It makes it look. What you want to do is try on, there's two ways. You can try on a light ivory veil, because once the veil hits the dress, it's going to repeat the color. Because it's so sheer, it will make, but there are manufacturers who do colored veils. Pale blue, butterscotch is a color, and that, but I think if you did an ivory, you would probably be fine with that. So her question is, how do girls that are very short, really short? No. Okay, 5'4", that's, believe it or not, that's pretty tall. Yeah, right, I thought she was gonna say 5'1". Anything under a 5'4" is considered a petite in height, in length. So manufacturers, especially stateside, accommodate the dresses when you're buying petite. The one thing you wanna make sure that works on a petite figure, height-wise, is you wanna make sure your bust darts, and this is true for no matter what dress, what size you wanna make sure those bust darts are sitting right on your bust. Because if they're above it or below it, it means the dress is either too long in the bodice or too short. So the bust dart has to hit right there where it belongs. So make sure that is happening. But to elongate a petite figure, or anybody that wants to look a little longer, the princess seams, which are seams that start empire, but seams that start here and go all the way down without a natural waist. Any line on your body is going to divide you. So if you have a sweetheart neckline, a natural waist, and then a mermaid, you've got 3 divisions on your body. So this way you do the princess seams and they go all the way down and open up, and that will elongate you. If you are overly busty, which I don't think's your case, I don't know. No, she's not, so okay, that was good. I think Stevie Wonder could have sung that. But anyway, if you're overly busty, you want to be mindful of that because it can make you look like you're wearing maternity clothes. Empires are usually traditional maternity clothes. You want to be careful with that. Okay, she asked, what was the most expensive dress we carry at Bridals by Lori? It's $18,000. And it doesn't have a bead on it. Yeah, it's all hand done. Handwork. Yeah, it's stunning. Jewel neckline, no sleeves, a little bit of a drop waist, and this incredible full skirt. And all the work, it's from Italy, all the work is all hand done on it. Every bit of that steam work. It's stunning. We've sold it 3 times. Yeah, no, so, no, well, it's beautiful. I mean, it's just one of a kind. But not a bead on it, isn't it funny? So, right? So you're delivering and getting married relatively shortly after that. Alterations, we prefer, 4 weeks is the shortest time. We like to have 6 weeks. So what they do, the dress comes in, they base it on you to kind of see where you are, and then they sew it a couple weeks, 3 weeks out, and then they bring you in, they tack it down and get it sewed, and then they start taking it in as you're losing weight. I think the issue, not to get too personal with you, but your bust line is, going to do what it's meant to do there. So, yes, exactly. Yeah, you're going to have to get. But there are maternity dresses out there. I would then suggest for you. Have you already gotten your dress? And what is it? A corset back or a zipper?
It's a corset back.
You might want to ask her to put a zipper in. And the only reason I'm saying that is because you can get in and out of it faster. Those corset backs take a while to, loosen up. And to loosen the top of it, you have to take it from the bottom. You have to loosen it all the way up to get to the top so that you're comfortable enough to nurse. So you might want to see if she can put a zipper in it, because it'll make it so fast and easy for you, and it'd be a little easier. But congratulations, that's great news. Will the baby be at the wedding? Of course so. You got to be there. All right. What do I recommend for a short plus size bride? I think it's very important, no matter what size you are, to show your figure. So when you are petite and you may be a little, wherever your weight settles on you, some it's in the middle, some it's the hips and whatever, you want to accommodate so that you go in and come back out. So make sure you have a dress that you can pull in. We can pull in at the bottom of the rib cage and into your waist. That's easy to get pulled in. We cannot adjust the top part of your rib cage, movement-wise, or your hips. They are what they are, right? So a soft A-line, but something that has a natural waist in it, or a little bit, so you can pull it into here and get your figure going, and then ease out, so that you don't have a definition. So I wouldn't look at naturally that it defines its natural waist, but maybe it comes in through here, slides over, and then goes into a soft A-line. So it'll give you movement, but it will help show. And you probably are gonna need some support of some sort. Yeah, look at her, she's like, yep. Yeah, that's great. Other questions? Yes. Okay, hair trends. All right. This is, look at her, she's like, oh mom, did you do this to me? All right. This is a challenge, hair trends. First of all, you gotta realize you should know what your hair does, right? We all know, I have very fine hair, and now it's silver, but I have very fine hair. So, are you an A, how many brides are A-type? Meaning I want it perfect, I want it to look good, I want it to be the way I want it, okay? All right, so for you brides, and you others that are on the tendency, she's probably not saying that, she's probably the same way, isn't she, Mom? You know, A-type, I can see. But anyway, so you want to make sure that your look is consistent the minute you go out that door for your first reveal. Do y'all do that up here? The first reveal, you know, sneak up behind him and I'm like, hey, this is really happening type thing, you know, right? And he's like, oh, damn, it is. But, all right, so if your hair can hold curl and not be frizzy and still look shiny, how lucky are you? How many can do that? I had the honor and the privilege of covering the royal wedding when Kate Middleton got married. And I was at the Abbey when she came out, and of course we're all like, wow, you know, she gets out. Then Pippa gets out of the car and we're like, damn. I mean, when she bent over to spin, you know, to straighten that train, oh my God, there wasn't everybody was like, whoa. It was a 70% butt lift in the UK after that wedding because of the way she looked in that crepe dress. Okay, but the point is, I'm ADD. The point is, you come back around, so she comes, she's got her hair down, it was misting that morning, the sun came out, it got humid, you know, it's England. So she comes out on the balcony, she did her own makeup, she comes out on the balcony, so you're probably feeling a little pale, you're in an all-white dress, right? So the light, you're looking at yourself, you're feeling a little pale, so she put on a tad too much blush. Her hair was half up and half down, remember? Look at that picture on the balcony, the most important photo of the day, and her hair is frizzy and the curl is coming out. So the only reason I point that out is if you are A-type, and if you are wanting to be consistent, pulling your hair back, a low sloppy bun, you know, really can ensure your look all day, and then all you have to worry about is reapplying your lipstick. So think about how you want your day spent. You can bring the stylist, you can do that, but do you really want to step away from the party and, you know, and say, oh God, I gotta get my hair fixed. So my hair, this curl. So, you know, think about how you want to spend the day. And remember, you got a veil. I know most of y'all take them off or you don't wear them, but you've got the veil, so when your hair is down and if it's pulled back, the veil kind of acts like hair. Do you know what I mean? It's hanging down. So think about that. I mean, did that make sense to you? Could you wear your hair back? Yeah. Just be mindful. Have a stylist on the set, because you really don't want to pay a photographer to correct that. So if you're A-type and you start seeing it in your photos, I know I've had, when my hair was longer, I was like, no, so I cut it off. I'm like, I'm not going to deal with this. But you gotta wear your hair the way you feel the prettiest, right? So just be mindful of those things. So the question is, how much say does the groom have in choosing a dress? How much say did you have? Yeah. How much say do you want? Do you want to help pick it out? I mean, it's okay, you can talk. We're good, we're friends. Aw, yeah. Yeah, because just an FYI, I was helping your lovely fiance today choose a dress, and she goes, but my fiance likes this. And she'd come out in another, she goes, no, he's not gonna like this. He already told me he wants that. So you've already told, okay. How much influence do you think you should have, or do you have in her choosing a gown? 0. How much do you want? Is there something you would not want to see her in? Big puffy ball gown, low cut front, back? Is there any guidelines at all? I mean, everybody's been to enough weddings and seen gowns and said, oh, don't you ever wear a dress like that. Yeah? He is such a bull. Where's the mother-in-law to this group? Oh, honey, yeah, right? He's good at kissing something, and it's not just the cheeks up front. All right, and how much say do you have in choosing the gown, do you think, or should have? All right, to answer the question, since the rules have changed a little bit and people are living together, so I would think that you already know her style. I would think you already see her, you're attracted to her because of the way she is and all that. I think pretty much the groom can trust and rest assured with mom riding shotgun and knowing the woman you love and want to spend your life with is going to pick a beautiful dress because that's what she wants. And you girls do come in trying to please everybody, and I know that. And I know that, and I think that is admirable of everyone paying attention. If it were me, if I was choosing something very special to wear on my date, there were 2 people that I would be in the back of my mind, my grandmother, because she was my best friend. I'll cry if I keep talking about that. And then probably my mom. I mean, I'd listen, she knows, because she's seen me and I've gone out in some prom outfits myself, that tuxedo. I look like a damn banana. Yellow's my favorite color. Do not wear it in a tuxedo is my first note here. But I did it, and I was told, you know, you're not gonna like that in a couple of years. Nah, they're right. So, but anyway, somebody that pulls at your heartstrings, you know, your mom's there with you, she knows. Grandma knows, they know, they see you. Grandma's got everybody's back. She's your best buddy in that, so anyway, okay. So what I would suggest, okay, the question is, how do we keep everybody looking the same in makeup and hair in bridesmaids? And I used to do bridal hair and makeup before I got into this. I don't know which is worse yet. So I would defer to the bride because she has already picked the dresses. You know, she's probably said, go get it as long as it's black or green or whatever this color, do it. I'm a little more controlling like that, so that wouldn't work for me. I'd be like, no, we're all wearing this style. We're all wearing this style. I want everything regimented. I want everything to be alike, but that's me. I would have the bride take 3 photos off of Pinterest, which everybody has one, of makeup that she likes and say, this is what I'm looking for. When I was doing hair and makeup and the bridesmaids would sit down, I go, the bride is suggesting you do your hair like this. There is no question. It's her wedding, we're gonna do it. We're wearing the dress she wants you to wear, you're gonna wear the makeup she wants to wear. And to ensure that, the bride might wanna buy everybody pearls or something to keep all the jewelry the same. But you better believe that one hoochie mom's gonna have that dress lit up to here. Oh no. Okay. So she's renewing the vows. She had been married, a civil ceremony, sort of, as opposed to a formal church wedding. And she's wondering, would it be odd to have all the bridesmaids and everything? Well, I think anybody getting married should do whatever they want and do it. But I would think under this circumstances, if it were me, I would probably pick maid of honor, matron, and a best man and have 2 people stand up and keep it very quiet and simple, especially for the ceremony side, and then just invite everybody to come in for the party. So I would keep it minimal and just keep your best friends that have supported you through up until this date. So pick those 2 that are closest and bring them in there. All right, so her question is, how many opinions are too many when you go to pick a wedding dress, correct? A wedding dress? There's only one opinion that counts when you are choosing your wedding dress. And I want y'all to hear this loud and clear. It's mine. That's it. I get to overrule everybody. No. You know why? You want to bring people that are going to tell you things, but you don't have to listen to them. And I think there gets a point when you're trying them on, you're like, okay. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I've narrowed it down to 2 dresses I like. I'm going to put them on, and I'm going to decide. Take control of it and let them know. So you're like, I've got 2 dresses here, they're in a tie for me, I'm going to put them on, and I'm coming back out, and I'm going to make a decision. And then see where they go from that. Because chances are they'll start backing off a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with asking somebody to leave. Sorry, you're not invited anymore. You gotta go. All right. The question, and we get this a lot, there are multiple sizes, as we all are, different sizes in bridesmaids. What you want to do is fit the one that you think would have the most challenge getting a dress. So if it looks good on her or him, it'll look good on everybody else. I mean, I have a friend who's 6'2", and so she was being a bridesmaid. Well, that's tall, and that's flat foot. So we found a dress that looked good on her, and then everybody else looked great. She still towered over everybody, even the groom. Because she goes, I'm already this tall, put my hair up, and I'm wearing heels. I mean, she's like 7 feet by the time we finished, man. Told her she couldn't wear green because she looked like the Jolly Green Giant, so we kept that at bay. All right. Okay. The question is a long sleeve dress, right? What is pros and cons of it? The thing that we're finding in long sleeve and more coverage in the gowns are that it's usually illusion or tulle. So you want to be careful that it's measured properly so you have enough room to move in. Because, you know, here I have a set-in seam so I can move a little bit. It is going to be restrictive, but you want to make sure you have enough room to move your arm and that the sleeve is not so tight that you can't get your hand in. So you want to look at that. You also want to be careful about wearing your engagement rings if it's in this, the prongs, or anything with a prong, and this is true with anybody that's wearing a tulle dress and some laces. The prongs on your bracelets and jewelry can pick the dress. So if you're looking at something, make sure that it's smooth like pearls. And then you don't have to worry about it snagging on you. So that's the biggest thing. And you want to make sure it sets on your shoulder properly. The sleeves got to set in and set into your shoulder. They're very, very popular in the States now. We have one with a bell sleeve. It's 70s, very boho, and it's turning out to be one of our top selling dresses. It's very plain and straight, but it's got some beautiful bell sleeve on it, so yeah, we're seeing coverage. Done. Listen, I want y'all to take advantage of all these incredible vendors I've walked through. Flowers, food, music, photography, lighting, and then that antique bustier, tuxedos, cars. They've got a little bit of everything here, and makeup. Have y'all toured the whole gallery? Has everybody stopped by and seen everybody? All right, well, I'm gonna head back and get more girls to say yes to a dress. I wanna thank